Hey, what's up everyone? Tim here from Everyday Tactical Vids, and today we're going to be looking at different items, and they fit across a pretty broad range of uses, from everyday carry to outdoor use, wilderness survival, maybe you're building an emergency kit. All this gear comes to us from Massdrop, and I'm going to explain to you a little bit more about Massdrop as a company and how they work later on in this video, but let's get right into looking at the items and talk about some things that you might be interested in. All right, so if you know much about fire steels, you've probably heard of Exotac before. This one is in OD. They do come in a variety of different colors. I like the OD. I just think it's kind of a cool color, and it still has this this kind of bright silver there. So it's kind of a mix of the two. I like that. This is how it works. You untwist this. As you can see, I have used this. There's your fire steel, and it basically carries like this, and then you can put it on a keychain, or you could actually carry it with this, and then your striker is in here. You can see that the striker is built in such a fashion that it's got kind of angles on both sides, so that should give you a relatively easy way to strike and get sparks off the fire steel. I love the fact that it's small enough to carry on a keychain. It's lightweight. You're not going to be carrying around something that's huge, bulky, awkward, and it's subtle. It doesn't say fire steel, it doesn't scream this is a survival or outdoor item when you have this on your keychain. This is nice to actually have this little lanyard, so once you take the striker out, what you can do is kind of loop your hand in, whether it's like this or like this, however you want to do it, so you got good control over the fire steel when you're actually using it. And then close it up like this, and as you can see, no problem making fire with this. Get a little bit of tinder, get some wood, and you're rocking and rolling. No problem using this. This is, again, the Exotac Nano Striker, and they note that you can get it in black, gray, green, and orange, and that's, again, over at Massdrop. Next up here we have this headlamp made by Nextorch. This is the Trek Star, and we'll show you another one made by Nextorch in just a minute. This has 4 different settings, so your high is 220 lumens, medium 125, low 9 lumens, and then you have your red setting as well, and then you can also run it in SOS. So let me just turn this on real quick to show you that your high, that's off to tap it off, so high, medium, low, and then there's your red light there. And then if you have the light on and then hold it down for 5 seconds, it's going to go into SOS, and you can see that like so. We'll turn that off. The actual lamp here is maneuverable 100 degrees, so pointing up and then pointing down like so. Fully adjustable as far as the band that goes around the back of your head, nothing going over the top of your head. Sometimes they add that in. I'm not a huge fan of that. It doesn't bother me a ton, but I prefer not to have that. So this is, again, the Nextorch Trek Star. And yeah, this thing has been cool to use so far. Let me show you the other one now, which is, this is the Nextorch Trek Star UV. It's got 4 different settings. So a high at 220, a medium at 125, a low at 9 lumens, and then a UV light. Let me just show you that real quick. So there's your high, medium, low, and then there's your UV light. They actually note on the package there that you can look for scorpions when you're using this light. Again, fully maneuverable, 100 degrees as far as being able to point it up, point it down, fully adjustable. So yeah, I mean, very similar, but you do have different features as far as the red versus the UV. Next up, we have this watch. This is from Armorlite. This is one of the Armorlite Isobright Valor series. This also has the chronograph. I've had another Armorlite that I got from Massdrop, and it is a really, really nice watch. I generally am not a person to invest a ton of money in watches, but since I was able to acquire these by working with these different companies, I've had a chance to test these out, and these things just hold up. They are very, very nicely made. So a couple things. Illumination, it's got Swiss-made T100 tritium markers, so it's going to glow in the dark, no problem whatsoever. Your battery life, they say 54 months. It does have a scratch-resistant sapphire face here with an anti-reflective coating. You can see, you've got your colors here. So you've got the red, you've got the white, glow in the dark for all the different settings. The 12 glows in the dark as well. You've got this kind of bright red on the sides as far as adjusting all the different settings and features. Water resistant down to 200 meters. The width of your band is 24 millimeters. This is the silicone band material. They also have just a normal fabric one that's included as well, and the weight is 3 ounces. I was digging around in this case that the watch actually comes with, and I came to find out there's not just one other band, but there's 2 other bands. So they just throw in an extra. I think they said it's a $25 value, just for buying the watch. Now, here's what I'll tell you is that I'm always scared when I invest a lot of money in something like a watch or a pair of sunglasses, I'm going to scratch them, beat them up. This thing is just rugged. The other one I've used and this one I'm not particularly gentle with, and they have functioned really well. They haven't gotten scratched up. I definitely banged this thing the first time I was wearing it, and I was like, oh man, did I scratch it? And I looked and I'm like, nope, no problems whatsoever. I'll just flip it to the other side real quick so you can see what that looks like. So excellent watch. It's definitely an investment to buy a watch like this, but it is one of those things you're going to have, I really think, for the rest of your life. So once again, this is from Armorlite Isobrite, and this is from their Valor series, and it does have the chronograph built into the watch. Now last up we have this machete. This is an Ontario Knife Company machete. As you can see, it says Bushcraft Machete right there. This is a special machete that's being released just through Massdrop. Usually they have walnut handles. They replace those with these canvas micarta handles. You're looking at about 22 inches from end to end and about 16 inches for your blade. It is made of 5160 steel. Your Rockwell hardness is 53 to 55. This is made in the USA. A machete is just a great tool to have out in the woods. You can see it in use here in this video, and I will let you know that I have used this a bit, but I'm also going to be taking this in April on an overnight I'm doing up in Maine. So kind of one of my bucket list ideas is to do some sort of overnight survival bushcraft type outing in every one of the 50 states. So I'm working my way through it here, and we're going to do one of those up in Maine pretty soon. This is a fun tool to use. I will tell you that this, when you order it from Massdrop, you don't get the sheath with it, so you want to make sure that you have a way to carry it safely. It does come with, a piece of cardboard wrapped around the blade. You can just wrap that with duct tape for carrying it until you actually purchase your sheath. But this thing is fun to use. Throw a lanyard in there, and then you get out there and you can just chop pretty aggressively. Again, I live up in New Hampshire, so this is an area where a lot of people swear by an axe, but I find a good machete or a good chopping tool like this can do a lot of work. Not the same as an axe, but in general, for me, when I'm out in the woods, a chopper or a machete I find to be, generally more useful for what I'm often doing, unless I have to, cut down a ton of large trees or something. I think a machete is a great option for you out there in the woods. Once again, the Ontario Knife Company Bushcraft Machete with the special handles, canvas micarta in this tan, a little bit of a green tinge there, but mostly tan color, exclusive to Massdrop. Let's talk about Massdrop as a company now. I've worked with them on probably 3 or 4 different projects, and it's a very unique way that they run their business, and it offers you as the consumer some pretty cool options. So the 2 main things I want to talk about are the communities and then how the discounts work. So you get onto Massdrop, you create an account, and then you can connect to different communities, an outdoor community, everyday carry community, maybe you're into tech and gadgets, you can connect to that community. And then when they do what they call a drop, they let you know about different items that are now available. First off, you get a good deal on the products just because they work with these different distributors and companies. And so even if you just buy it immediately at the base price, you're going to be saving money. Now, beyond that, the way it works is, say you have a knife for sale and the price of the knife is, let's just say generically, it's $50. But then when you get to having 20 people who are buying the knife, they start tallying it up and they say, okay, now that it's at 20, we're dropping the price down to say $45. And then they say, if we get maybe, 75 or 100 people to buy the knife, we can drop the price down to $40. So the way they purchase and they work with the different companies that supply the gear that they're selling, the more people that buy, the more the price is going to drop. So baseline, you're getting a good deal when you buy gear from them, and then the more people that buy it, as if you will, kind of a mass purchase, then you're going to get even better and better discounts. So it's kind of a fun thing because you're like, I want this item, I'm going to use this in a kit, I'm going to buy it, period, and all of a sudden you find out, hey, I saved $40 on it, and I only thought I was going to save $10 on it at first. So that's kind of the way the system works. So you sign up for a community, you get the message that says, hey, there's a drop in the EDC community, come over here and check it out, check out these items, and then, you shop around, check out the descriptions. I will tell you that they have excellent photography. I've gone to their site and dug around a bit, and I'm like, wow, man, the items, the way they take the pictures, they just give you a full experience of, all the different angles, all different uses for various items. And like I said, when you pick your community, or 2 or 3 different communities, you're going to get gear connected to those topics and those communities, so it's going to fit your needs. I didn't sign up for like the kitchen community. It's not really my thing. So I'm not part of that community, but I'm part of other communities that they have over there on Massdrop. Now, the last thing I want to say to you is that when I reconnected with Massdrop a little bit more intentionally these last couple months, my contact over there sent me maybe 20 different items and said, hey, here's some of the items we think might be appealing to your viewers. So I went through the list and I picked out, these 5, 6, 7 items. And then I said, hey, let's talk about those. But I also want to let you guys know that there are other items. So if you're like, yeah, but I'm looking for a tent or a cold weather sleeping bag or, a polar fleece jacket or something like that, they've got a ton of different items. So you can go over there and kind of check out all the different items that they have for sale, again, in the various communities. If this works out well, and it seems to be a benefit to you, the viewer, and I see products that I think you guys might like and Massdrop thinks it's working, then we'll continue doing this in the weeks and the months to come to let you know about some of these different products. Just by the nature of it, I won't have a chance to do a full in-depth review on everything, but all the items I get, I am using and testing out at least to some degree so I can say, yeah, this functions well, or nah, I got that and I don't really like it that much. So I've used all these items, I've tested all these items, and they've all passed so far for me, and I've liked some of them enough that they've enrolled into my everyday carry system. And then also the machete, like I said, that's going to be used in a future video when I head up to Maine to do like a bushcraft survival outing. And as always, I report to you guys if there's something that goes sideways and like the machete breaks or knife breaks, I'm going to let you know. And I do that via social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, etc. But also in videos when I'm talking about a different machete, I might say, oh, by the way, that bushcraft machete from Ontario Knife is great. It's working great. Or here's an issue I had with it. So, always stay tuned, be plugged in and connected to Everyday Tactical Vids here on YouTube and our other social media outlets so you can get updates when various things happen. And I want to let you know about that. All right, guys, thanks as always for checking out the videos. Please subscribe to Everyday Tactical Vids if you haven't done so already. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, check us out on Instagram and Tumblr as well. More videos coming soon. As always, take care.